Happy Sunday. Welcome to Vietnam. My name is Spider Manuel. That's my first name. If you are thinking about teaching English in Vietnam, or probably you're just curious how much the teachers are earning here, this video is for you. So, today we are breaking down how much English teachers get paid in Vietnam. So native speakers versus Filipino teachers. But I will be focusing more on Filipino teachers because I am a Filipino. I have the experience. Although I also have friends, native teachers, but my target on this video is mostly Filipinos. If you're not a Filipino teacher, yeah, you can still watch if you are curious about it. So we're going to look at the hourly rates, where you can work, how many hours you can teach, or what kind of taxes to expect, and how much are you expecting for a monthly income. So now what I'm going to talk about are those who are certified teachers or professional English teachers. When you say certified, if you're not an English major, your bachelor's degree is any field. However, you get the international certification to teach ESL. These are TEFL and TESOL. So if you don't have them yet, and if you're interested or you plan to come to Vietnam and teach English, you better prepare those certifications. Now, if you are in a hurry and you don't have much time to listen to this video, you have to look at this. This is the breakdown of the difference between the rates, hourly rates of native teachers and Filipino English teachers. You can look at it while I'm going to prepare what I'm gonna talk about today. Again, here is our content outline. Okay, so we can start with number one. Where can you teach in Vietnam as a foreign English teacher? You can start teaching at kindergarten, public schools, private schools, language centers, international schools or bilingual schools, and also in the university. However, the rates in the university are different. That's where I work now because the requirements is higher. So I'm going to make a separate vlog for those who are aiming to teach in the university, maybe a little bit sooner. Now, let's go with the next one. The next one is how many hours can you teach weekly? Okay, again, before I talk about this, I'm talking about hourly rates because most of the teachers in Vietnam are paid per hour. There are small number of teachers who work full time, so they get monthly payment. Okay, but I have never worked full time, so I'm not going to talk about it. But I have friends working as full time, so I'm going to do some interviews with them and then I'll get back to you later for full time positions. Okay, so how many hours can you teach weekly? Um, in my experience, I'm a workaholic. I work a lot. So from Monday to Friday, I can actually teach 6 to 8 hours, sometimes 10. Okay. It's like I teach around two shifts in, oh, no. That's university. If it's public schools, usually 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, or 2 hours, and then another 1.5 to 3 hours in the evening. So let's say the average is 6 to 8 hours. And for weekends, okay, that's 4 to 6 hours. Weekend classes are usually in the evenings and in the early afternoons. But I don't recommend that you work on the weekends. If you have the liberty to, I didn't even use the right word, to rest. Okay, you need to rest on a Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. You go to church, socialize with friends, and do something that you love. Okay. All right. So, but then again, it depends if your off is on the weekdays. There are people who work on a Sunday. There are specific or different situations like that. All right. So, can you start making notes so that you can do the math later? I'm not good at math. All right. Now, the second or the next one is how much is the tax for foreign teachers? I'm not so knowledgeable about this, but I will speak in my experience. Okay. All right. Because this is what I get. Okay. Like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I worked in public schools and language centers. So if your income is 60 million to 120 million, on that range, you will be taxed 10%. If you are holding a resident card, or we call it TRC, temporary resident card, it means that if you get that, you have your work permit. That is a requirement for your TRC. If you are not a resident, or you don't have a temporary resident card or a work permit, which is, how can you work without a work permit, right? Okay, so that's 20%. Okay, now, why do you say 20%? Because there are times that when your employer is still in the process of making your work permit, you will be taxed 20% while you don't have that yet. But once you get your work permit, okay, you will be taxed for 10%. Okay, if you have a different situation, if you've been a teacher here in Vietnam and you are watching this, please give us comments and I will pin it. Okay, we'll go with experiences. Okay, now, how much can you earn monthly? Yeah, this is the question already. All right. For me, you know what? Vietnam has been a land of milk and honey. Okay, my advice is this: if you use your time wisely, if you work hard, you can actually get the salary that you want. Okay, so it's about time management. It's about picking the right job. All right. So I'll just give you an example. All right. For example, me, if my target hours is 100 hours, okay, then let's say, for example, my average per hour is $22. Okay, all right. Well, because I have my master's degree, I have experience already, so I will put my rate there. But definitely, you can start thinking about $18 to $17 if you are starting. Okay, so if I have 100 hours with my rate of $22, then I'm looking at $2,000 and 200 before tax. That's my gross income. Okay, and sometimes I even have private tutoring jobs just for my travel and all. So I have, actually, I can add up more if I want to, but I'm too tired. Okay, I just want to rest. Actually, I'm resting now for 3 days a week. So lazy right now. Okay, so that's it. You can see, we are paid hourly, so it depends on how you manage your time. Okay, and how good you are in negotiating. Okay, again, let's go back to the rate for Filipino teachers. Okay, for general English, that's $16 to $23 per hour. If you are a professional English teacher and then someone is offering you lower than that, okay, think twice. Okay, and if it's specialized or academic, so I advise you guys to take your IELTS. If you have higher scores, then oh, that's the big money. Okay, you can start from 20. Actually, 20 is low. You can start from $23 to going up if you have high scores in IELTS speaking and listening. Usually, that's what foreign teachers teach on the IELTS program. Okay, now, so there you go. I hope it's helpful. And if you want to teach here and you have more questions, I will put my Facebook account on the description. You can send me a message if you have specific questions. All right, in the next blog, we'll talk about more on, if you have master's degree, the program in the university is different, but I'm telling you, it's far easier, more convenient than teaching in public schools, international schools, and in the language centers. Okay? All right. I've been here for 8 years, so I no longer teach on the lower levels. Of course, I'm looking for convenience as well. So, again, thank you. Bye.